popular support, as is Phoenix, which they run a fair amount. All right.
Wow.
Liquid have dire.
Look at, though, how highly Liquid is valuing the Phoenix. They first pick it last time, and they first ban it this time, when the other side is first pick.
I expected that Alchemist ban.
Yeah, you called that.
You can see what OG thinks the problem was.
They're just going to ban 5 fatter heroes.
They kept the Elder Titan this time though. Would be interesting to see if they first pick it or not.
First Spirit on the table.
Lifestealer or Spirit.
Lifestealer or Spirit. Maybe Darkseer.
I don't think you can do Darkseer first phase. Because then they can just do like
Taxi went for it.
Ricky plus
Okay.
1.
Okay. Well, that gives Liquid
It's gonna
something
be
to think about.
the next Ricky Classic.
Wow, this is, again, the big problem that I had with their draft in the last game is that Wisp pick moved Crit off his Earth Spirit. And, similar to what we were talking about with DJ yesterday, I always want to see Crit on a hero that he can impact the game on. And Elder Titan absolutely fits that bill. There it is.
There it is.
Yay.
Shout out to DC. That's just such a difficult combo to play against because with that Kuroki on the Ricky, they just absolutely don't care if he dies.
I was thinking that Liquid might try and mind game them and not pick it, but it's too good to pass.
If I was an OG shoot right now, I would pick something like Beastmaster and just try to keep tabs on the Lifestealer. Every time you see him go inside the Ricky, you just set up a counter gank.
But if they Beastmaster here, don't you come back? Don't Liquid come back immediately in the next phase with Tide?
Yeah.
But you can still ban it. Like,
Yeah, that's
you have
true.
so much
Yeah.
room. Like,
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want right now. And like counter the counters.
Any other hero that can control the Lifestealer aside from Beast?
It's Lifestealer Ricky,
There's
man.
only one counter to this.
What do you do?
Get 4 steps early.
Yeah.
What we've seen before.
It's a good call.
Immediate
You have to
invoker
ban
ban.
Tide though.
They have to ban Tides, yeah.
And now coming back, and the mid Juggernaut is still on the table.
10 seconds remaining.
Which I kind of like because Lifestealer can, obviously very tanky, can tank up against magical damage, but still, at the point in the game when Miracle will have Omni Slash on his mid Juggernaut, Lifestealer is still pretty squishy to physical damage.
A lot of teams also like playing Timbersaw against this Nyx Ricky combo. I don't know if Miracle feel that confident anymore after the last game.
Don't you still need to worry about Slardar if you're OG? Like, Nyx Ricky is strong, but
10 seconds.
it's
And
so
it's
much
dire.
stronger with.
Yeah, this for sure.
5 seconds remaining.
So do you already think that Liquid has the upper hand in the draft with this opener?
I think it's kinda even. If you watch OG play Elder Titan, they actually played insanely well.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things now where we've seen enough Lifestealer Ricky that all of the top teams are going to have a plan to play against it. So I definitely give a little bit less of an edge to Liquid than I would have even a couple days ago.
What's with the TA ban?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
I don't know. I don't think
That's
it's.
more like
Maybe
a
that's,
Trump.
maybe that's part of the...
That's the same principle as I was talking about with the Juggernaut, right? That TA, with them, especially as fast as Miracle will level, he'll win the lane with that hero. That Lifestealer is still very squishy against physical damage and minus armor.
You don't think it's because they've got something planned that they don't want to play against TA?
It might be a squishy mid.
Gotta ban the Slaughter here, surely.
There might be a setup for the puck for Pata.
And we've called for that, but they've kind of gone away from
Wow,
that.
okay. So, Timber's gone.
They left the starter though.
I actually really like that ban. Ordinarily against Liquid, I'm not in favor of banning Fateh heroes, but as well as he played on the Alchemist and the Timbersaw yesterday, sometimes you just force a player that's on a really hot streak to play something different.
Fair point. 3 of his heroes banned out of the 4.
Yep. Now they still obviously can go to the Dragon Knight. He's very confident on that hero.
You think they'll move it up into second phase picking it now because of that? Or let him have another ban?
Well, but remember that Dragon Knight against Juggernaut is the matchup that they lost so hard mid with in the Manila finals. That's the only other thing. Okay.
Not giving anything away there. No Slardar though. Where does OG go for position 3?
I still think you can jug
It's
here
still-
because you can always run it on no-tail as well.
It's still open for them. They have a lot of options.
Seconds remaining. Reserve
Disruptor.
I think they need something that can handle the Slaughter, because I expect Liquid to fort pick Slaughter.
Do you think we will come back round for it now?
They should, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's the best pick for them.
Yeah.
On Dire,
Is it not odd that they wouldn't have picked it up 3rd? There was no danger of line going the
There's
other
like
way, was there?
no reason at all, because
Oh.
there's
Oh.
OG can't pick Slaughter right now. So like you read a Paradise, like something like Lion.
5 seconds remaining.
Seems
There's
really
also
bad.
still the Darkseer though.
Go ahead, dude.
The Darkseer Ricky is also insanely hard to deal with.
I think now that you mention it, Darkseer is a little bit better.
I like both of them.
Either way, I think you pick your offlaner here.
Dark Seer.
Mhm.
Radiant team pick.
Good call from Bambo.
Good job,
Now-
Bambo.
Thank you, thank you.
It's probably bad here, but I do at least have to think about the backdoor drow strat. Where you draw here and you pick up Wind Ranger.
I think Juggernaut got better after the Darkseer pick,
10 seconds.
because he can kinda deal with it.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, that's much more stable.
They're both saving the mid laner. You can see what they prioritize on.
Don't assume that this won't be Miracle Jug mid.
I don't think so. I
don't
think
think
it has
so?
to be against the Darkseer.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, Miracle's quite good in that matchup. The Jug vs Darkseer.
10 seconds remaining.
Feel the tension on the panel, let alone in the draft. These two are
Seconds remaining.
trying to out-psych each other as they go through the
It's
final
really
round.
interesting.
And this
Yeah,
is much
draft.
more the traditional sort of chess match draft, as opposed to like the last one where we
Gung
just have
ho.
all these crazy picks, right? This is 2 great captains just going at each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Although I have to say, I enjoyed both ways. The crazy picks are also welcome.
And by the way, look at that. Liquid is convinced that this is going to be a no-tail Juggernaut. They're going to ban the Miracle Magnus mid. I like the thinking.
I still think it's really strange that they banned out TA though, especially if they were planning on picking Darkseer.
I don't think they were planning up to it. I think they were focusing on the startup first, but they just changed it.
Maybe.
Because they kind of picked like weak lane supports, the Elder Titan Venge. So they know they can abuse the Darkseer Ricky a little bit.
Radiant team pick.
Would Liquid have gone for an LD at that point?
It's a good stable tank hero.
They don't have last pick this time, so they can't come back with the Wraith King after Liquid pick LD.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think it's that hard of a counter. Wraith King versus LD.
Reserve
Oh.
time.
1,500
That's nice.
credits on the bear. I mean, 2-shotting the bear at the late game.
So they bring out the Miracle Ember.
Ooh. You're a god if you get that right.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm pretty sure Bambo is 8 for 8 right now in this draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Lycan.
Okay.
Okay. Not quite 100%.
Turn to pick.
That's really good. I think this is going to be Miracle Jug mid. I think this is going to be no-tell like in safe lane.
They pick X right now on Team Liquid. I think they will destroy OG. Split X mid against either Lycan, Juggernaut. He can't do anything.
Oh my. I don't know that they run that. I like the thinking.
I'm sure Vata plays everything.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Reserve time.
I think they have a good. I think they have a good enough team composition that they can just probably still pick the Dragon Knight and win straight up, even if Miracle does win his lane.
But it's actually so good against all their heroes decks. It actually destroys all of them.
Yeah, especially in combination with Darkseer and Lifestealer. I like the way you think, Bambo.
That's
It's a
absolutely
perfect
flat
pick,
out
in
nasty.
my opinion.
OG are set. They await their fate. Good on the other hand, have 30 seconds left.
So aside from that, I guess Puck's still an
Puck
okay option
is-
for them.
Yeah. It's not that good anymore.
10 seconds.
Still think you just DK and play it straight up. But
That
we're
would
gonna
be
see.
the more standard route, wouldn't it?
Seconds remaining.
I mean, Miracle 28 kills in 42 minutes the last time.
Wow.
Oh damn.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alan doesn't know, but we're going to start with Ben. Who's had the better draft?
I think I like Liquid's draft a little bit more. The Bristlebacks, maybe I still like the axe that you would have gone back to, but I think their whole setup with the Lifesteal and the Riki and the Darkseer is just going to be way too strong for them to deal with.
Alan?
I think I'm going to go with Ben. The idea Bristleback is going to build a bunch of armor. He's going to build a bunch of aura items so that the Elder Titan aura doesn't do nearly as much. I think that's a good fifth pick.
Okay, pretty quickly, Bamba.
Liquid is still gonna crush them.
I love the faith he has in his boys at Liquid. Liquid are going to crush him. Game 2 is just around the corner. Let's go back to our commentators.
10 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, we're getting ourselves ready for this one. Liquid OG Game 2. We've had the drafts revealed now, and Matt, you were saying you feel that Liquid, they might have some issues because OG's draft, in your eyes, pretty much what OG hoped to get.
Yeah, I was just wondering how this Lycan 5th pick came up. I think, I forgot about it, so I'd assume Kuro did as well, because if there's one thing we learned yesterday and throughout the major as well, is that when teams pick up Vengeful Spirit and Beastmaster, Lycanthrope combos really well with that. We saw Na'Vi trying to go for it yesterday as well in some of their push strategies, and it just feels like that TA pick wasn't at all as worthwhile as banning out a Lycanthrope would have been.
Yeah, I think we were kind of talking about maybe hypothesizing that maybe this is something that OG have run in a scrim against Liquid before, where they picked up Templar Assassin against Lifestealer, and it's proven to be really effective. Maybe they've just seen something in the past like that. It tipped them off, but it did feel like, at least in my opinion, that Juggernaut would have been the better ban. This is something that OG specifically, this is a huge strategy win for them when they're able to pick up Juggernaut 3-4, even if it's sometimes not the greatest pickup against the current heroes. It allows them to go so many different ways still, because they just as easily could have run Juggernaut mid and had some different safe laner, or they could have had Juggernaut safe lane and we could have had some sort of tempo controller for Miracle at mid. There were like a lot of different ways they could have ran, so it's hard to lock that draft down, and inevitably that means that the last pick is going to be in the favor of OG, which I kind of agree with Jacob. I think their lineup is a bit better. I like the Bristleback choice though for Liquid. I think that was really smart and swing things a little bit back in their favor.
I mean, what do you think about this decision then to put the Lycan mid and have the Jug in the safe lane? Is that just purely to keep the Lycan away from the Darkseer lane?
I didn't really need to put the Jog in the middle lane. There was nothing that he needed to avoid going up against. So the Lycanthrope isn't going to have any difficulties farming up against the Bristleback. So this way you're going to get the levels faster, and
Jug I think would be a little bit more threatened by the Riki rotations alongside the Lion and then the Bristleback already in lane. But I think both heroes have a tough time against Bristleback. This is a hero that should win melee versus melee matchups.
He's got to be careful. I mean, you get a couple of Quill Spray stacks and already Miracle being harassed back. He's got the backup of crit. He does have to be here. And Liquid, of course, they've decided to open up with this mind control, going straight to the jungle, and just having Kuroki down on that bottom lane to soak up levels on the Riki.
Yeah, no point in putting mind control down there against a lane that could easily kill him. it's better to have him start off in the jungle and get the early start for Kuro, because they're just not going to put that much pressure on him. They're not going to prioritize trying to shut him out of lane, particularly without Dust. So instead, they're just going to focus on single pulling.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great decision by Liquid. I love how Kuro always thinks of these laning options and being very versatile in how they move. I sort of called him out on the Dazzle going for the offlane last time around, but it proved to be really, really strong. Obviously why he's sitting on stage and I'm sitting in here casting.
Yeah. Ghost Youth Gamers Captain of the Year 2008.
9.
Top lane.
Oh, excuse me, Jacob.
They've caught out Moon here. They're starting into the Hex. Liquid looking for first blood, and they'll find it. Jerax, more than enough control to deal with this offlane beast. And Liquid off to the start, they hope for it. 1-0.
And it's sort of ironic seeing Moon fall in the top lane. If anyone follows him on Twitter, you'll often see him saying that you just go for the Quelling Blade and jungle don't even care to show up in lane, and then he dies.
Yeah, he probably got into that mindset. He was like, okay, it's going to be more of a dual lane scenario with Riki rotating out, so maybe I can win this 1v2. The boar might be enough to get me the distance against a lifestealer, but obviously it's not really working out for him. Would have been much better to just Iron Talon immediately. Maybe he was just afraid that the Riki would have put too much pressure on him, but we've seen that matchup before. Oh, mid lane
indeed. Fly finds himself an Invis, comes in, sets up the kill. OG, they'll punish Fada here. Nice rotation, and of course it's always the 2-minute invis ring. There's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah, that's the exact problem with having the Darkseer jungle early on. Because of the Stealth Assassin soaking up the experience on the bottom lane, they're lacking that support hero to run around and control the middle lane, so they don't have any information. And that way, there's no way of them knowing that they picked up the invis rune, and that's almost always a kill if you have a disable.
No tell. Getting fairly aggressive here with the farming. Feeling safe to move like this, kind of as you said as well, just knowing that it's unlikely that a reaction is going to come out from Liquid. And no tell at the moment, 20 for 10, sitting at the top of the CS. A mid lane matchup, fairly even as well. 15 for 1 against the 14 for 3 between Fada and Miracle. So no huge differences coming out there.
Kuro.
And the stomp, not going to quite catch him. Kuroki put the smoke screen, has got the backup of mind control. And with the iron shells out, OG needs to be a little bit careful.
Quite the misplay there from OG. They really had that trap completely set up to catch Kuro as he pushed forward. They should have gotten that kill, but Crit, he throws the Spirit in an awkward place where it's not close enough to actually get the stomp, and he didn't let Fly lead either, but they may still get it.
Oh, again, Kuroki just jumping around OG, not allowing them to get the lock on him. And now, of course, they'll know that that sentry's there, Liquid. It's just out of range of each other's sentries, so I won't be able to deward it straight away. But at least they'll be able to play around it here in future situations, and unlikely, of course, due to that, the OG are going to be able to catch Kuroki again in this position. And mid lane, Miracle getting dove upon. Fada, one more quill spray probably would pop the dog. Oh, he's got the stick charges though. So Miracle will be fine.
The supports know they have to like rotate pretty heavily and try and put pressure on mid, because the Bristleback just soloed out against a Lycan is going to win that matchup, and he also is getting some room control as well, getting free refills on the bottle and such, so they need to try and address that. But now it's Kuro's turn to be the more effective roaming support, because he got those levels at the bottom lane. He's gonna be level 4, he can push into mid.
They're gonna find Moon here as well. Jerax with an incredible movement here as he came around between the tier 1s and the tier 2s,
Nice
catching
stomp.
them off guard, but the nice stomp from Crit holds back Liquid. So they won't get the kill. It was a good job that Crit was there, otherwise Moon, no, it's like the Iron Talon jungling wouldn't have saved him there.
Both these teams are so incredibly good at reading the map and finding these opportunities early on, knowing where the enemy is most likely going to be. Crit being there to help out Moon as well. But the whole, the same way they got the kill on the Bristleback by having dominance through one of the Liquid heroes being in the jungle, the same thing just happened in favor of Liquid now, where Moon had converted into the jungle. So not only did they control the bottom half of the map through the Stealth Assassin, but they also controlled top half.
No tail.
No tail.
Potentially in trouble here. It took a Satar blast to face. Kuroki's coming over as well, and yeah, they'll follow this man down. Healing ward, is it gonna be enough? One more touch would do it. No, it won't. The heals are too strong, and now Kuroki, he's gonna get taken down with the tower. The magic missile onto mind control. Not gonna be enough as he will surge away, but they could mess it up there at the same time. Though Fada moves in on mid, takes a kill onto Miracle's Lycan. Crit unable to do anything about that, as well as Fada will be able to walk it off. So 2 for 2 as the trades continue here.
Man, Fada is You know, remember back in like Cloud9, you would talk about Fada and the old like Fada S4 matchups, and you would say these are two of the best aggressive mid laners in the game, and then like Fada just kind of like dropped off in that position. I'm not sure what it was, but I felt like he wasn't that top place slot.
I think Fada has been one of the best mid laners the past year.
Yeah, I'm saying now in this last year, now that he's on Liquid, he has been like he's back to that like top place slot again, where he's gotten like I almost oftentimes feel like he destroys the enemy mid laners so hard that sometimes it just wins the matchup hard enough for them to win the early game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I fully agree with that.
Something about Liquid, I think, just like kind of enabled that for him.
I mean, at this point of the game as well, would you say that there's a side that's coming out on top, or have both teams kind of got their merits at this point?
Liquid definitely, in my opinion, are ahead in the laning phase just because Fada's putting enough pressure on Miracle, keeping him down, and Moon's not getting enough in the offlane. In fact, he may end up going down. He's still being fast bomb, but it's not going to be enough.
Matsuman, yeah, playing around this, no tail. Chasing this down with the Blade Fury, but he's into the creeper now. Starts to move back. Jarax being chased down by Miracle. Turns around with the stun. No tails there to finish off the job, though. We'll take down the Lion.
The old Invis Ion Shell.
Also the fact that there is that Lifestealer coming over as well. So yeah, OG will back up, keep that distance between themselves and this Tricore. And Fly, his movement will be spotted out here as he comes around towards the lane. So Mind Control still with his Invis. Just keeping eyes on what OG are doing behind this tier 1.
But they now know it's an Invis Darkseer because the Stealth Assassin is sitting in the middle, in the bottom lane and hitting creeps, so Crit should be able to use that this is actually a Darkseer Invis.
Yeah, if they just limited that last kill, you would see really big differentiation between the supports of Liquid and the supports of OG. Kuro being able to have his level 6 by 8 minutes, this is just all thanks to the space that the Darkseer has kind of given him. He can be really high impact, but OG are going to strike first.
Straight in on top, no messing as Moon drops the Roar. Gets the kill onto the Lion, but Matsuman is there and TPs will be coming through. Liquid, they're looking to punish OG's play here. Straight onto the Moon. And they'll find the Beastmaster kill, so OG going in hard for the Lion kill, but it ends up to turn around and bite them in the foot.
See if they can turn that into... it's not going to be a tower push for sure, but it does... Like, that kind of trade-off, you look at it and it's just like, okay, you traded support for an offlane that's good for Liquid, but the positioning is to the favor of OG, right? Like, the Lycan's getting free farm in mid, he's pushing the tower, Miracle's doing, or No-Tail's doing something similar bottom where he tries to get it, but
he's playing around it, he drops the wall, so the Illusion tanks him with the Omni Slash and he gets the kill! Brilliant play there from the Darkseer, just straight up 1v1 outplaying No-Tail's Jug.
Holy crap.
What a play.
Mind Control is another one who's like so incredibly dominant in his position. Fada! Oh, he's got it.
Kuroki jumps in with the backstab at the final moment. Oh man, some great plays coming out for Liquid here.
That was such a great outplay by Mind Control at bottom. I'm still like just a little bit flabbergasted that worked out for him.
What I love watching with these two teams is that health is just something they're playing around with. You know, he's on 100 HP, he's still running back in to make sure that the Juggernaut is taking those extra hits from the tower. Ever so slightly baiting out that Juggernaut, just praying that he won't get a crit off.
This is a risky gank at top lane just because they don't have Omni Slash. They're looking to be able to chain stun the Primal Roar into the stun from Fly and give No-Tail enough time to spin to win, but looks like the Lifestealer did kind of get that heads up. They had a ward behind the tower, so he probably scattered at least a part of that rotation. So he just backs away to the jungle and they just take the tier 1, but it doesn't matter for Liquid because they've taken the tier 1 mid and they're pressuring bottom at the same time. They're getting the better trade-off.
It's quite an interesting stat. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the fact that this is Miracle's first pro game on Lycan. Last time we played it in a ranked match was against the Vega stack. He ended up going 1 for 4 and destroying all his own items. So I think OG hoping that that's not going to happen here.
I mean, I was pretty surprised when I saw Miracle pick up the Lycan and No-Tail on the Juggernaut. I thought it would have been vice versa.
You would have imagined it to be the other way around. Yeah. But I guess it's, as you said, just the flexibility the OG have, especially with the Juggernaut pick, for sure. The both No-Tail and Miracle can offer high-level performances, but top lane, Kuroki caught out. They'll find themselves one more man coming in with a TP, but unable to do anything about OG's play there.
Kill. They get some more damage on the mid-tier 1. They could rotate as a full team and actually take that, maybe? I don't know. Fada can put himself on the front lines, though. That's tough to beat.
Oh, Jarrett's getting in time for the initial stun. The finger as well, but it's not enough burst. Miracle will survive. Playing around this, sending the walls back in, and in fact, thinking about going in for the kill onto Jarrett. He will get it, but Miracle, incredibly low, has to be careful here. Make sure that he doesn't get caught out. So only one death at the moment, but Timmerman turning up, looking to move in onto Moon. Do they have the damage to bring him down? No, Moon gets himself away with the TP. So this time OG again find themselves a kill and lose nothing in return.
Yeah, that's the benefit right now. There's only 2 disables on Liquid that can stop TPs, and with the Lion dead, that's pretty easy. If Darkseer isn't around.
Croaky.
Balls on Miracle though to go for that kill still against the Lion with Ion Shell. He was so close to taking out any other hero from Liquid is around there. He would have died as a trade-off, and that wouldn't have been worth it. But he makes the correct reads. Kuro's gonna find a free kill though on Moon, it seems.
Oh, let's go with Timmerman. Yeah, ready to go. Jumping straight out onto the beast. No backup here for Moon, as indeed the combo is successful. And this is a combo that we do see a lot of times just not get through the drafting phase. It's such a fantastic vessel for the Lifestealer to move around in the Rookie.
Yeah, that's why Lifestealer is so many times like banned out in the 1-2 area, just because there are so many heroes that can combo with it. Like Lifestealer Riki is really dangerous because you have this Infest Bomb into the silence that very few heroes can deal with, and maybe Riki is not in the pool, or maybe the enemy team grabbed it, but then there's like Slardar Riki, or Slardar Lifestealer. That's another combo that feels rather OP in this patch.
So the score is 6-6, and actually towers in favor of Liquid against the lineup that you would assume would push them a lot.
Gonna try to go on to Fada here, but I mean, he's just gonna walk it off the time being. They need more damage. They do have an Omni Slash.
Why are they doing this?
With the counter by tricks the trade from Kuroki. Crit. He's got down, and now Liquid. They'll move on to No-Tail as well. They're ready to continue this fight. OG are scattering here as they realize this may not be the fight that they were looking for. Miracle trying to get himself out, but a stun across the tree line from Jerax, controlling the big bad wolf. Liquid take a second, and OG, not the fight they were looking for there, Jacob.
It's Vanguard Bristleback. What are you gonna do? You can't take him down, and especially not when you chase him into the vicinity of their middle tower. So, just a bad decision by OG. And what I was about to say before that fight erupted was that it was 6-6 in kills, but the only kills that they really got off from OG was on support heroes that were already leading the supports of OG, so it's not at all as beneficial as, for instance, Liquid constantly killing off Moon, delaying that.
No-Tail.
Oh, he's in trouble. They've got the control. Oh, Jerax!
Okay.
Resident Sleeper there with a stun. It looks like it won't matter. There's the finger to redeem himself. Will end up killing off the Jug, and Liquid moving in for a second fly all alone. He's gonna fall as well, and Liquid just outplaying OG again in this second game so far. I mean, OG, it feels like they just need to regroup, have a bit of a sit down and a chat, and start playing a little bit different, Cap.
The story of both these games, has been that Liquid has just been uniting as a team every time. You see them moving around as 4 or 5 people whenever they fight. They back each other up, they're constantly there for each other. They, of course, have these 2 tier 1 towers to TP on still, so it makes it a little bit easier for them, whereas OG completely lost control of their side of the map through losing their towers.
Yeah, really good play by Liquid, seeing the opportunity of just making the super fast rotation to bottom lane, catching OG off guard. They just knew No-Tail didn't have his TP. He would have had to go into the side shop to pick some up. And this Bristleback pick is really working out. It bullied the mid lane. It's great against the Elder Titan because you're looking at damage reduction, plus not only just from Bristleback, but as well as from Vanguard. And that's really effective when you have no armor, naturally, right? Because Elder Titan takes it all away. So this hero is just impossible to kill in these team fights. OG is trying to foot like damage, like armor reduction plus physical damage is just not going to work against a Bristleback. So they can't bully him. They can't bully the mid laner. They have this constant infest gank to worry about. So they can't even like spread out and try and out farm Liquid because there are too many opportunities that Riki allows you. He always gets so much free information and sees the opportunities for free pickoffs. And a pickoff can easily turn onto Roshan soon if you're not careful as OG, because Liquid do have the minus armor and physical damage between Bristleback and the Lifestealer to do it relatively quickly.
Brokey hit. Coming around with Timmerman. OG, they do have 3 around. Fly does have a dust as well, so let's see if they're able to react to this one. Fly with a quick swap, saving crit, and now with the dust, looking for a turnaround. Gets the magic missile off on it, but no, Kuroki
Nice
jukes
dodge.
it out with the ult. Nice play here from Kuroki, making sure that nothing is lost here from Liquid.
Yeah. And look at that, just because how quickly Liquid reacted to the counter from OG, they don't even lose anything for attempting that. Oh, they actually forced OG to group up.
Look at Liquid, they want to go straight in. Straight back towards OG. Let's see if they can catch anyone out here. Fly has a magic missile. He's actually not going to get it off, and I think even if he did, it's this bristleback that we've already talked about that's at an insane level that it's very hard for OG to even dream of taking down. To the point, I guess, in these fights, do you have to just ignore the bristleback at this stage?
Yeah, you pretty much do. I think OG even, like, they're still going to try and make it work, and they probably can just because they have Elder Titan, a great team fight hero, but team fights are really tricky, and they have to think long and hard if they actually do take a team fight against Liquid. Because Liquid seem to have this overwhelming advantage thanks to the bristleback, and now it's going to be additional advantages because they've got Jerix with the Blink Dagger, so now they've got a separate form of initiation. This time it's hard lockdown as opposed to just the silence and the Riki.
And just yeah, looking at the farm across the board here for Liquid, they've got 3 7Ks, whereas, you know, No-Tail, he's 6K, Miracle's 5K, Moon, he's only 4K at the moment.
There it is. Oh no! Jerix, another uncharacteristic mistake by him.
Ooh, tries.
He just goes for like the blink way too early and doesn't get an instant range for the Hex. Like Finger, especially with Finger in the Infest Bomb, that's a guaranteed kill on the Juggernaut, and then they might be able to take the tier 2 just because they're... At that point, OG would try and go for the trade-off at top.
Oh, Miracle trying to commit for this. TP in from Mind Control. You've got the wraparound here from Fudder, so between the two of them, not a lot of control for the wall, so Miracle will be able to get himself away. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, they jump in onto crit. The control is there from Liquid. They'll take an Elder Titan kill. And I mean, at this point as well, 11 for 6. Jake, obviously, we looked at the start. We felt that the OG, they had a clear kind of plan in mind with their lineup. But we're 17.5 minutes in, and they've only taken 1 tier 1. How much of an issue is that for this kind of draft?
It's a huge issue, and they're just not playing as well as Liquid is. It's like Liquid is showing a different kind of class right now, especially in the team play department. Every decision they take it has a purpose. It serves a purpose, and you can see the lead that they have now. The Lifestealer sitting on the Echo Saber and the Armlet of Morrigan, and then the Bristleback has a Vanguard, and he's very close to completing a full Saints and Yasha as well. These 2 heroes are going to be so incredibly hard to take down. What OG has been doing is trying to give Moon some space on the top lane, farming up, sort of trading with the Darkseer. Unfortunately, they've been giving away kills in the process, but he desperately needs this Necronomicon to actually dish out even more damage.
Yeah, all 3 of their cores need a good amount of farm, which is why Fly and Crit had to get so much done in the laning phase. But again, what the Kuro got his farm, then he's going to become the more active force. And they actually may get caught here just because the smoke is going to reveal, plus the dust.
And Midget Dust, can they kill both of them? They'll swap back Kuroki, but Man coming up with the Omni Slash is big from No-Tail. So I think he can get it. Kuroki did juke out a lot with the tricks of the trade, and he himself actually might be able to walk away from this. But Man, he's going to have the backup of Fada. He's going to live with the armlet toggling, and OG, they're unable to find any kill at the moment. No-Tail's going to be the first to get brought down. Finger from Jerix, the Hex onto Miracle, trying to control the Wolf. Man still alive here. In fact, he starts to scare the Wolf back off. Liquid, they've lost no one yet. Kuroki walked it off as Mind Control, comes in with the mech save, and OG, they've not killed anyone, and Liquid, they're not done. They're trying to move in for more. Kuroki jumps in. Yeah, he will finally get taken down. OG now find a kill in return. Liquid now looking to cut their losses and get out, but a full smoke there. They get the jump onto Ricky and the Lifestealer. Lifestealer lives, and they end up losing their own carry, OG.
It's just very symptomatic of these 2 games as well. The fact that they have 4 heroes perfectly located around a double target that should easily go down.
And Miracle getting jumped on immediately. Fly will be there with the swap, but Fly, he's been hexed up. Great control for Jax, and they'll lose a second, OG. I mean, Liquid, they are, as you said, Kat, they're just on a total another level this series and this morning. I mean, 20 minutes in to be this far ahead. I mean, how do OG even think about bringing this one back round?
Split push.
Yeah, they just have to split push, get their cores online. They need a certain amount of farm for all of these cores to start feeling their threat. You have to remember that this lineup it's one of those pushing, like, transitional style lineups where they win a team fight and they instantly take towers, and they take them really quickly. So there is still a significant threat from OG where if they win one team fight, they can really start making a comeback. But this is kind of reminiscent for me of like the MVP Liquid matchups, where the Liquid are so good at this exact kind of lineup that OG are running, and now
Again,
Kuro?
trying to go onto Kuro, but immediately this ult just causing so many issues for them. They'll still follow through the magic missile. The rest of Liquid looking to back off, so maybe just leaving Kuro to go. No, he jumps across. No-Tail will continue to chase, and no messing. At this point, No-Tail feels he's just got to get these kills, so drops the Omni to secure the one onto Kuroki.
He uses the Omni Slash, securing them of 4 versus 5, but is it going to be enough to finish off Roshan? Liquid are still going to try and contest.
Jumps in, vacuum, doesn't drop the wall as of yet. Crit getting low, controls them in place, but OG will get away, taking Roshan and getting the Aegis onto the Jug. They've controlled mind control, they've pod the mech, they'll kill off the Darkseer, now looking for more. OG with a bit of a turnaround here, Jerax to fall as well. So a great bit of play there from OG.
And watch OG rather now take control of this game off of one team fight. They're going to guarantee get this tier 1. They can probably try and put some damage on the tier 2. If the Liquid start contesting and they don't feel comfortable because Bristleback is still a beast, they can instead spread themselves out and start getting that farm we were talking about.
Yeah, so the strength of the lineup is actually peaking right now, where they have these double Necromicons, they have a full Mantis style on the Juggernaut, who now has an Aegis as well. So, because of that very fully initiated team fight by Liquid, they allow OG to come back into the game.
A big part of it was the fact that Crit managed to get his... he got the damage onto the line. That actually stops it, because the vacuum was supposed to be intended to couple up with Jerax blinking in and landing the Earth Spike, but the damage puts the Blink Dagger on cooldown, and there was no follow-up at that point.
What was weird to me was that Mind Control didn't use his Wall of Replica. He had it up that entire fight, he jumps in, he gets off a 2-man vacuum. They're probably aware of the fact that they're still in the Rose Pit. Putting out a Wall of Replica there would be great.
So Liquid lose a bit of control, to lose a tier 1 and a tier 2. Significant amount of gold being given to OG, but just because you gave away that Aegis doesn't mean that as Liquid you should try and back away from a fight. I think you keep on going, because you can't let OG set the tempo of this match. You need to be the ones like continue to batter, and that's what I was referencing to MVP. MVP are incredibly good at continually fighting. They just go and go and go at you, and that was what prevented Liquid from being able to kind of set up a team fight win into a push. That never happened because they were always losing fights. MVP was constantly running at them, and here Liquid are going to try and do the same thing against OG.
OG, let's see what the reaction is. Fly, just bringing back the wave. Liquid continue to put the pressure on the same time. You've got Moon up on top for OG, looking to push down a tier 2, and well, it looks like Moon will get away with this one potentially if he pushes in again. He's a little bit worried that there may be a reaction, and Kuroki is indeed making his way up here on the Ricky. Moon having to be a bit careful. And he's just going to go for the straight TP out. Nothing that Kuro could do about that one. Indeed, this tier 2 falling low. The boars actually might nearly be able to get it now. Matuma Man jumps out. They'll clear off the waves. So tier 2 will still remain here for Liquid. But at the same time, Liquid weren't able to find the tier 2 themselves in the mid lane.
So look at the smoke gang coming up into the Dire Jungle now. If they pick off these 2 heroes, that can very well be OG knocking on the Liquid side of the base.
You should know about this, but they're not going to be fast enough with their retreat. It seems like the swap should be there.
Yeah, bringing him back. Matuma Man, can he play his way out this one? No, he cannot. Immediate jump in from OG. See if they can get anything more. Miracle's got a DT. Moving in with the shapeshift. Jump forward. Mooney's looking for the raw target. He'll pop it onto the Bristleback to contain him. Usman comes through and put out huge amounts of damage. OG rip the Bristleback to pieces. And Kuroki, he's going to go as well. And OG, oh, the stun! The
oh my God!
The vacuum, the combo's used, but it might not be big enough. If Fly, he's going to survive here, getting himself away from the illusions. I mean, the combo was pretty, but he just came a little bit too late. Too many members of Liquid dead. And OG, after a slow kind of opening, 20 minutes in the last 4 or 5 minutes, they have really turned this game around.
Yeah, certainly. It was just sort of a classic play where when you're the ones trying to defend against a push and split push the enemy, you force the TP back, and as soon as that happens, your offlaner who's split pushing away comes back to the base, and you smoke up and you push out and see what you can catch while you know the enemy team is separated. Liquid, they knew that was kind of in mind. They just didn't retreat fast enough, and one catch like that, we talked about it before.
Oh, nice vacuum there from Mind Controller, clipping 2 of them. Fly, he's going to get focus down first. The Hex control onto Miracle. They're looking to find a second on this defense, but a good stomp from the Elder Titan holds back the remainder of them. Matuma Man, he's going to continue the chase there. Miracle, he's not going to be able to get himself out of this one, but the open wounds down on him. Liquid will pick up 2 on this defense, but indeed the damage already done to the base. And I guess this is the thing, it's just OG's lineup is so volatile. If you lose one fight, suddenly you're losing a whole lane.
Yep, that changed real quick. After that Roshan fight, there was just suddenly it was OG in charge, and then with that one pickup on top, where Liquid is then underestimating. What they've had going for them is the fact that they were leading the numbers game. They always backed each other up with more heroes than OG. In this case, they came in one after another, and that's a basic mistake in Dota. You often see in pop games, for instance, that players will just run in and die once, and then the next player will run in and die, and the next player will run in and die because they don't time the support to each other.
Yeah, it's essentially like a sense of loss of control, where Liquid are scrambling to get the game back into their hands because they lost one team fight, and they know how dangerous that is against this OG lineup, and then they lose a second team fight. They're scrambling to be able to try and contest OG, to stop these objectives from going down, from stop that, the gigantic gold lead that they managed to build up in the first 20 minutes slip out of their fingers, because they know once the game is even, OG have a big advantage just because of their strategy. Their strategy is that they can lose 3 fights, Liquid won't be able to push high ground, but if OG win 1 fight, they can absolutely push high ground and take a lane of racks.
OG, yeah, just really recovering incredibly well from this early stage. Liquid, I'm going to look to try and find some sort of catch with this smoke. But OG, early crew top of this stage, so they're going to be very hard to catch off guard as they move up as a 4-man, and also Miracle joining the force behind them. See if KuroKy can catch anyone out. Maybe Fly, if he backs off here, but he just drops the ward down. Liquid, looks like they will be unable to find anything with this smoke as it does begin to wear off, and they'll have to back off and just look to clear out that top lane. And
well, OG saw it because they used the Iron Shell on them, smoked, and that triggered the aggro of the creep camp, and they have a Hawk on top of that, seeing that movement from the creeps. So while they didn't see the Liquid heroes, they actually saw that creep being aggroed and losing HP.
They still have this haste rune from Fada that they may be able to make use of. OG probably see this as an opportunity. They're like, okay, great. We managed to, deny their smoke, essentially. They now have to split up because they have to deal with the top lane push. I think Liquid still need to look for a fight, but they kind of need to, I don't know, between the Hawk and the Wolves, I was going to say Vision is a problem and maybe they should pick up a gem, but it's actually just the fact that OG have 2 different forms of summons that they can throw out. It's not even a warding game. They always have information, but it's not from wards.
KuroKy trying to move in, will get raw, but Superman jumps out immediately onto Moonfly, gets the swap off Moon. He's going to live at the timing, but no, the Infested top, they'll catch it, and OG's Fly falls as well. Hex onto Miracle, they need a bit more control, but he already got the ult off, so running around, Jax goes for the TP away from the minions, and he gets it. Smart TP from Jerax, and let's see if they can find anything else in Liquid. Looking at Miracle, but Miracle will continue to back. Timmerman, can he get in range for the open wounds now? He's not willing to dive that far. And No Tails TP'd in as well, but OG 2 men down, only able to get that kill onto KuroKy, so they should get the space at least for Liquid to find a tier 2 themselves.
Yeah, tier 2, something, but it's not quite what's going to allow them to push high ground. They still are facing up against an Elder Titan, so what they really need to make the next gigantic step forward is Liquid needs Roshan. That's where the next fight is going to be all about. They can get the Aegis into their hands, and they can go high ground with some confidence, even though they're facing up against teams so much better, but they're really taking down on time.
Razorback completes the Shiva's guard now, though, so if they take a 5-on-5, I do think they should be winning, especially with that Darkseer. One good wall of Replica into Vacuum is gonna seal the deal if they can keep them in place, and they do have the Lion to sort of control that.
Yeah, it's still the problem, though. They win. Again, it's the problem where if you win one team fight, it doesn't ensure anything serious,
Their base push is not at all as scary.
They do have 3 team fights in a row. They have to win 1 around Roshan to get Aegis, then they have to win a second one high ground, then there's going to be buybacks, and then they have to win that 3rd one to really end the game. While OG, they've taken the lane of racks at top, they can just as easily play, defend one of those fights at either Roshan or at mid, and they've stalled out the game, and then they're going to be free to set themselves up for another pick off into objective that is so quick for them.
And at this stage in time where the game is sort of even despite the lagging racks on the Dire side, What Liquid needs to do is take the fights on the Radiant side of the map, just to have that failsafe that if they do lose the fight, there's a long way for Liquid to actually run up to their base. They don't lose it immediately, because if they lose a fight close to the Dire base, they're just gonna lose their throne.
That's why they have so much incentive, right, to fight around Roshan as well.
Yeah.
Like, not only do they want to contest that objective, but it's also a fight that isn't near their base, since they're Radiant side, and they have great Roshan, actually, defending heroes, mostly from the other Titan.
Yeah, and also another thing to note, of course, in that last fight, there's maybe a bit of miscommunication with Liquid because the top lane was left open. The creeps did a huge amount of damage to the range racks, and Liquid actually used the fortification. So that's now on cooldown. Having no fortification against OG's lineup is pretty damn scary because, as we've seen, you know, one opening and OG, they're wrecking your base.
They almost found that opening. 5 seconds sooner, they would have gotten mind control. Considering his play, that would have been a great pickoff. They even get the scan, and they could have actually dove into the inside the base with the wolves leading the way, and still caught mind control inside. But not going to be the case here. They wrap back through, I think, an attempt to catch anybody still and set themselves up for Roshan. They got a pick.
Straight onto Jerax here. Necro units out. Jerax just melts here to the level 3 Necros. Vada's coming in from the backside. Pops the Shivas, but Miracle immediately with the ult starts to run. Crit, they try and jump on him, but they don't get the lock on. And now Notel with the Omni Slash jumping in onto Matuma. Man, Miracle jumps away. The Grease keeping alive for the time being, but he'll still go down. There's your vacuum wall, but again, where's the follow-up from Liquid? They need to get more damage out. OG controlling the fight perfectly at this stage. Crit going in with a huge ult, slamming Fada and Mike Control in the face. The swap front fly, bringing Fada back into the center of the fight. The axes come out. Can they kill this man? Shiva's out again, but Notel in with the crits, takes him down. They will lose Fly, but big kills for OG. This is now 70 seconds with the Bristle on the sidelines, but Tummerman's come back into the fight, will be surged away. OG looking to Kuroki, jumps back across to Mind Control. Yeah, this is a risky window now without this Bristol back. Liquid, they need to find something good.
They have to find this to pick off.
And they've got it. They've got the Hex, cancels the stun. Miracle, he's not going to be able to live with Swan out. The fingers there. Huge Bristol. Oh, he is! He is! Crit with the saves. I mean, the stomp,
Blink
the
forward.
stuff.
They've almost have him.
They need this kill. Jax will Hex up Crit. They will kill the Elder Titan and Mind Control with the chase down. We'll see if Miracle has any way of playing his way around this one. He's actually just going to try and buy into Mind Control, but it's not going to work. So Liquid do finally kill off the Lycan, but I mean, OG just playing their hearts out here to stay alive. But Liquid, when it matters, they do end up coming out on top of that fight.
Yeah, ever so barely. It's off the buyback of the Lifestealer, and they had to get those picks just to be able to ensure that they can take Roshan from here, because they need that Aegis back into the hands of Lifestealer. They can't afford to be in this situation where he dies once, he's gone for 90 seconds. So they simultaneously at their worst and still have an opening just because they're going to get Aegis. They have to be able to control the lanes. Mind Control is very smartly going up to the top lane and going to start pushing this out now to alleviate some pressure, so maybe Liquid can take some control and force the fight on OG's side of the map with this Aegis.
And Crit trying to save Miracle there and almost succeeding as well actually meant that Liquid can do the Roshan uncontested, because had Crit still been alive, they could have contested it without the Lycan.
Maybe they still can contest. Jesus, they're actually kind of slow at doing it without Vada.
Oh, they found Mind Control as well on the sidelines. If they can take the Darkseer out of the fight, yeah, no wall this time around. So Liquid in a good place, buyback immediately from Mind Control, knowing that he's going to be needed for this contention of the pit. Roche will still go down to Liquid. They'll find it. Aegis now on Lifestealer, and OG back up. So OG, they do try their best to stop the Roche, but it's not going to be successful.
I think it's still a worthwhile trade just for the fact that they got the Darkseer and now he doesn't have buyback for the next 6 minutes, so that's something.
Yeah.
He's the most integral part of the 5-on-5 skirmishes from Liquid, so if they can get a pick off of him, and they do have the tools to do so. The Beastmaster Raw, the swap from the Vengeful Spirit.
You're still going to be really scared as Liquid push forward just because you have those two heroes without buyback, but I think it's something you have to do.
Oh yeah, this game currently favors OG by a large margin.
They've got Scotty on the Juggernaut now. They have such a hard time actually being able to burst through these heroes, and this is where Lifestealer really starts falling off. It's when heroes start getting tanky enough that they aren't just immediately bursted down by the quick rage 1, 2, 3 hit, and also when Force Staffs and other kiting mechanisms come into play. See, they carry like Juggernaut or the Lycan. They don't have that same kind of problem because their mobility in Omni Slash or the ult of the Lycan.
So what kind of item progression do you think Bristleback and Lifestealer should go for now?
I mean, the Shivas was the right choice against all these Necronomicons. That's pretty natural pickup against Lycan, but where does he go from here? I'm not quite sure. Because he also has a bit of mana issues, right? With all these Necronomicons out. Maybe he goes just straight Heart next. They still don't... Oh, they do have an AC on Matoma Man. So they've got both the armor items. They could just Heart up, and then Lifestealer picks up an Abyssal Blade, replacing either the Aegis or the Echo Saber with it. Because he needs some hard lockdown. He still has to deal with the 4-staff saves from the allies of OG, but at least he can, you know, put someone like Juggernaut and stop him in his place.
The thing is, it's not the Bristleback dying in the fights, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they should actually give the survivability to the Lifestealer and then have the Bristleback go for some sort of damage item.
Maybe. I just like Heart just because it's also a good increase in damage as well, just because it's a great stat item. But what would be a better damage item where he could really threaten OG?
I mean, a Basher.
He gets the Abyssal Blade himself.
The fact that the Lycan and Juggernaut can just run around and do what they want as soon as they take out the Lion.
Okay.
Sort of makes it hard for Liquid to do anything and catch them. They can't force them to fight in the Wall of Replica.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that as well.
I mean, would you say at this point, because of the drafts, are Liquid definitely the side that's going to be forced to look for action, or is there any way that they can kind of take a more steadier pace at this stage and just?
They have to look for action. They have to, because there are so many openings, right? This is what Beastmaster allows for you because he has so much vision. That's what the Lycan does as well. He sees when you guys are at a positional disadvantage. He sees the openings. He sees the opportunities for pickoffs, and with Boots of Travels coming into play, that threat becomes all the more real. So I think it looks like Liquid are waiting for the buybacks, but
they need to do what they did yesterday and just wait for the enemy to make a mistake. Right now, they're not in a position where they can allow themselves to play too aggressive.
You mean Liquid or OG?
Liquid.
Yeah. I guess. I just feel like you're just kind of like...
I mean, it's gonna be a YOLO move if they do go on the aggressive, because if they lose once now, they lose the game.
Yeah. Really, like, the decision is kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. The Liquid are in a very hard place where they kind of play real passive and slow down the game. OG are going to find opportunities to get a pick or push.
Oh,
maybe they found the fight, though.
Yeah, coming in. Connects the Shivas onto 2, but OG... They're just going to back up. Probably trying to get a lock onto Crit, but holds back the Bristleback with the Yule Scepter. Kroki's there with Matuma Man inside him. They try and jump forward onto Crit, goes for the stop, gets it onto 3, tries for the TP out. Isn't going to work as Matuma Man jumps out. And with a double slap of the Echo Saber, will take down Crit. So now gone for 50 seconds already, though. TP's back from Liquid to clear out this top lane.
But what do you do with this? You take the tier 1 because you don't have to deal with backdoor protection there. But all the lanes are pushed out. They can't actually just take an objective off of this.
I mean, again, you can see the walls from Miracle knocking onto the range tracks, and that will
BKB
actually go down here.
It's actually a very underwhelming item progression for Miracle. He's sitting in the bottom 5 of last hits, and I think it's 10 minutes ago that he finished the Necronomicon 3, and he's sitting on a Hyperstone and 3k gold.
Maybe Liquid are actually okay just because Miracle's so undermarked.
Oh, and the Omni Slash here is going to not work out at all for No Tail. Hiroki coming in with Matuma Man, they'll look for the lock onto Miracle, and look at this damage coming out for this Lifestealer, ripping the Lycan to pieces. And Liquid finding the big kills now.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Jacob, because I did not realize how low Miracle was in net worth. Like, the fact that he doesn't even have the AC yet is very surprising to me.
It's a bit of an oddity of a game. Like at first I thought there's no way Liquid can lose this. Then OG does that one comeback fight at Roshan and proceeds to take the top fight as well. And then I'm thinking, okay, there's no way OG can lose this game. And now I'm sort of on the fence again. I'm like,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of change my tune here just because I didn't realize Miracle was so underfarmed that I saw No Tail. I thought Miracle was gonna be around that kind of farm, but it's actually just No Tail trying to solo carry the DPS output at this point. They still have this really good positioning advantage because they have such great pushing heroes and one lane racks down, but Liquid, maybe they are unstoppable in fights. The BKB freshly picked up by Fada is kind of a good pickup as well. He no longer has to worry about the Elder Titan and the things he does, as well as he could just immediately focus down Necronomicons. Those are obnoxious in team fights, but Fada can deal with them.
If the game goes late though, what happens when they keep adding items onto the OG lineup? Don't they just get...
Yes.
I don't know.
But the question is whether or not Miracle is actually able to get those items, because Liquid are still creating, it seems, this atmosphere where Miracle is not able to get that kind of item progression, or if it is, it's very slowed down. So
they do
yes,
have double force staff though on OG side. Swap, of course, so they can take him. Like they're gonna do what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Sit behind him.
Protect Miracle at all costs.
Farther though, how do you kill him?
You don't kill him. You probably just make sure Miracle survives and call it a day.
So they are going for the tank build on the Bristleback and the damage build on Matumba instead. Completing up a Skull Basher for the Lifestealer, and then of course the Black King Bar assembled earlier on the Bristleback.
Do they need a Lotus Orb for OG?
What do you think, Owen? Who's got this?
I don't know, I mean, at this stage, the way that Liquid are playing and catching out Miracle like we just saw earlier on the bottom lane, it still feels that Liquid are playing at the same level that they were in game 1, but OG, they're starting to turn up a bit more, and I think it's just a very scary game for Liquid, because there's still just that threat of, you lose one fight, you're going to lose a lane of Rex.
Yeah.
The push is so strong from OG, and Liquid's lineup, they just don't really have that. I mean, yes, you can have the Bristol front line, you have got the Deso and the AC on the Lifestealer, he himself can do a bit of damage, but at the same time, as you said, Jacob, the fact that OG's cores and just lineup as a whole seems to scale better as this game continues at this sort of passive pace.
Here we go.
Kuro's going to take another smoke, but he has a gem.
Didn't see them though. Oh, now they're spotted.
But
the wraparound may still catch someone.
If they can find anyone, I mean, it will be Fada at the front line, and yeah, this is not the hero you want to jump onto.
Certainly not.
So GG just back up with that. Magic Core Miracle inside the patch, but flies there with a swap, saving the Lycan. The Infest coming out, not enough damage to bring it down on the back. They caught the stun onto No-Tail, the finger as well. Can they bring down this man? No, he gets the Omni Slash off in time, and the Greaves. Minion won't get the kill, they'll still lose the Jug. Fada pops the BKB, no one to fall yet on Liquid. Jarek's trying to jump forward, see if he can catch anything more, but OG already disengaging. So again, another one of these fights where OG find nothing, and Liquid, they do kill off one of OG's cores.
Fada's just like, especially in that kind of scenario where it's a funnel like that, he can act as the buffer between him and his allies. Yeah. Despite the fact that, you know, they managed to get the Omni Slash and there was that big ultimate from Elder Titan, there was very clearly going to be no follow-up because they have to run through the Bristleback. Like,
yeah, they've already lost too much HP before they back off, and then actually Matumba Man just completely ignored the Juggernaut, allowing him to get off that Omni Slash. He could have hit him once and saved them a lot of pain.
He probably just saw that, like, this team fight is won. And he was just going to go for more. He just tried to pick up the extra kills.
We're trying to catch out Miracle here, but again, crit. Forcing him away. Roshan is going to be back up now as well, so we'll see if Liquid want to head themselves over to the pit and try and take that. I mean, OG, they will have the full lineup to contest it. For the time being, it looks like Liquid are more focused on sticking around, keeping the pressure on towards the mid. But okay, now it's been spotted out. They know Roche is out, so Liquid will immediately back up and start to move towards the pit. But the question is, I mean, OG, they should have a shot at getting over there in time and contesting this for sure.
There's 30 seconds on the Omni Slash, and I think they do need that spell for the fight.
They don't have buybacks on any of their cores, though, so this fight is going to be dangerous for OG to take. Not having buybacks is one way where Liquid can actually take objectives.
Oh, OG scouted out that they're not doing Roshan, so it's a double bait.
So he's going to be the first to get caught.
Underneath the tower.
The Necro units from the front, bashing in the face of the Bristle. Now OG seeing if they can move forward for more. Immediate buyback from Fud on the Bristle, knowing that he's going to be needed in this team fight. Trick the trade. Kuroki jumps across, trying to get himself out. They need the Bristle to reach.
He's got a fresh primal roar.
But defusal down on Kuroki. Matumba Man jumps out. Kuroki will be the first to fall. The ult from Crit coming in, catching out Liquid, and now the Omni Slash ripping through Matumba Man. He's trying to run, but the bash is there. They'll lose the Lifestealer as well. 3 dead on Liquid. But he's got to get himself out. He can't afford to die here. It will be a dieback if they can catch him. There's the first Diffusal Blade buyback from Matumba Man. They know that they've got to keep this battle up, but the damage from OG ripping the Bristle to shreds. That aura from Crit's Elder Titan Spirit just doing so much in removing a huge amount of this Bristle's tankiness. He's now dead for 900 seconds.
They got the top wave pushing in, so they're going to be able to go straight into the middle lane and take that down. And question is if they just go for the throne. There's 90 seconds on the Bristleback. Lifestealer just fought back, so if they manage to kill him again,
if they actually go throne, I think it's just over.
So what are they going to do, Liquid?
Oh,
Jumping in, finger, onto
Almost
No-Tail.
killed
Gets
No-Tail,
off
they
the
need
side,
this kill!
But Tumberman, he's chasing it, but he can't quite get it. They can't kill No-Tail. But Tumberman tries to turn towards Crit, but now the rage is run out. He'll be forced away, but again, Crit with the stomp, catching him out. The second diffuser charge. They could kill this Lifestealer, but Tumberman just turning, trying to man up, trying to fight against them, but the bash from No-Tail controlling with Tumberman. He gets the second rage off. Kuroki's already on the backlines with the smoke screen, and they will keep Tumberman alive. So Liquid, I can't get the stun of Jerax. He gets punished immediately. He's now dead with that buyback. Kuroki's gone as well. They will have mind control back up.
Yeah, it's over.
OG moving into the tier 4s. The push is just far too strong, and GG is called in a game where Liquid seem to have the perfect opening, but OG, they played it so well. And at the end of the day, Malk, I think it's as you said, this draft, it comes together so perfectly. You just need to win one fight, and you're taking the game.
I mean, that just displays the strength of the lineup of OG, right? Liquid played this game perfectly for the first 15 to 20 minutes, and this was still the end result. They lost one Roshan fight, and they completely lost control of the game, although they also lost their mind. They played